The headline for today in the basketball world is Kevin Durant gives Joe Tsai an ultimatum. So what Kevin Durant did was he basically told Joe Tsai like, "Hey, it's either me or Nash and Sean Marks. You're either gonna get rid of Nash and Sean Marks, or I will still force a trade out of here." So basically, he's making Joe Tsai pick between him or Steve Nash and Sean Marks. So that's what it comes down to. When I think about it, it seems pretty asinine by Kevin Durant to make that demand. And and I'm trying to dig deeper into this, why he would request that, since Steve Nash is the head coach that he handpicked. He wanted Steve Nash originally when he came there, and he didn't pick Sean Marks, but he liked Sean Marks. He trusted him. So now for him to turn on them is an interesting change of events, I would say. But I think what it really is that not Nash, I meant to say Durant, that Durant wants to really get out of Brooklyn. And I think he thinks by making these asinine demands that it would force Joe to size hand to trade him. I think that's really what it is, because it doesn't make any sense when you think about it, to get rid of Sean Marks and Steve Nash. He would have to completely start over again in the regards when it comes to the front office and coaching. That's a lot of hassle to replace those two guys on the fly. There's not enough time to do it with the season about to start within a month or two. I think training camp starts within a month, so it would really create a lot of chaos if Joe Tsai got rid of those two guys. I really think it is, to be honest, it's Kevin Durant, just like I said, trying to force his way out of Brooklyn. So he's pretty much laid down the gauntlet that he wants to leave. That's really what it is, that he doesn't want to stay. And then by making this asinine request, he's basically sent that message: get me out of here. I'm not willing to work with you. You cannot convince me to stay here. I just want out. That's really what Kevin Durant has said. I think the next step in this ordeal is what Joe Tsai is going to do. If I was Joe Tsai, I actually don't listen to Kevin Durant. I just tell him to shut up and just say like, "Hey, I paid you all this money. You signed a contract with me, and I'm not going to do nothing about it. You're just going to stay here and you're going to play, and that's about it. You can complain, you can scream, you can cry about it. Hell, you can attempt to hold out for several months, but nothing's going to change. We're going to keep you because there's nothing of value we can get in return for you because of your age. Teams are not willing to give up much in return for you that would be even equivalent to equal value, and that we're also screwed for the next few years due to all the picks we gave up in getting James Harden. I think they gave up a lot of picks in getting James Harden. So again, their rebuild would be futile now, simply because they won't be able to use their picks. That's what I would be saying to Kevin Durant. There's no point of trading you, just from a business standpoint, that we can't succeed as an organization being a lottery team because we're not going to get rewarded for that. So we might as well keep you and just contend for the playoffs. Sure, we're not the favorites to win it all. That's what I would tell Kevin Durant. But hey, it's better than being a lottery team with no picks. That's what I would do if I'm Joe Tsai. I would just lay down the law on him, basically. Just tell him that, hey, it's not happening. You'll deal with it and you'll get over it. That's what I would tell Kevin Durant. And the Nets should do that, to be honest, because they're not really going to do anything that's going to be productive to the rebuild the next few years without these picks. They might as well take their chance with Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons, and see how far that group can get within the next year or two. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But after it fails, then they can start the rebuild once they have their picks available. Then they can go forward. That's what I would do if I'm the Nets, really. I would say with Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, and Kyrie, I wouldn't say that they're a contender with that team, but they're pretty good. The reason why I wouldn't say they're a contender, because their depth is lacking, and there's a few holes at a few different positions. Mainly their big men are terrible, but you never know with that team. They have three very, very good players. I would say a superstar in Durant. Granted, he is starting to decline. Kyrie is probably the best. I would say second best point guard in the league after Steph when he wants to play. Ben Simmons is also a legit all-star. So they have a very good team. you also never know what can happen during the playoffs with injuries, as we've seen this year. What happened with Middleton in Milwaukee, Ja Morant in Memphis. That anything is possible. Injuries can happen, and they could get lucky with the current group of guys they have. I would give them a dark horse's chance of winning a title with the current team. Granted, they would have to get lucky. Guys would have to get injured from opposing contenders. Some fluky things would happen, but hey, they have a chance in hell, so might as well just keep it together. That's the way I view this, and it's going to be interesting to see how Joe Tsai responds. I'm really looking forward to his counter, whatever he does. So let's see how this saga continues to play out now.